How I feel about attention. If Medusa was Dominican and had a daughter, I think I'd be her. I look and feel like a myth. A story distorted, waiting for others to stop and stare. Tight curls that spring like fireworks out of my scalp, a full mouth pressed hard like a razor's edge, lashes that are too long so they almost make me pretty. If Medusa was Dominican and had a daughter, she might wonder at this curse, at how her blood is always becoming of some fake hero's mission, something to be slayed, conquered. If I was her kid, Medusa would tell me their secrets, how it is that her looks stop men in their tracks, why they still keep on coming, how she outmaneuvers them when they do. My name's Kayla Payette, and I read the book The Poet X by Elizabeth Azevedo. It's a fiction novel and centers around the main character, Xiomara. But what's unique about this book is it is a fiction novel told completely through poem. More specifically, it's told through slam poetry. Now, if you've never seen slam poetry, it's a form of art that is reliant heavily on the performer. So it was interesting to me to kind of see it written out and interpret how the author may have wanted those syllables stressed and the hand movements that went with it. It is told in a linear narrative, so from beginning to end, it's told through days of times as homework assignments and as well as conversations through her friends. But you get more of that backstory through the author and the character describing her family through poetry. And I almost liked that more because she says a lot in such few words. The book was originally published in March of 2018, and I wasn't quite sure if it'd be good in poetry, but the author knew what she was doing, most supported by all of the awards that it's won in that short amount of time. In 2019, it won the Youth Media Award. It's also won the Carnegie Medal, the National Book Award for Young People's Literature, the Golden Kite Award for Young Adult Fiction. It has won an award for the audio version that was released. I personally absolutely adored this book. I love watching slam poetry, so seeing it written out was something I didn't expect to actually enjoy without the author or performer's interpretation of it, but I read it out loud to myself, which may have come off a little crazy, but I was alone, so it didn't matter. And it was fun because I got to interact with the book in a way that you don't normally get to do. So I say if you read this book, I highly encourage you to read it out loud. It's more fun, it's more expressive, it's more interactive. The book itself deals with subjects that are really imperative to youth growing up. More specifically, Xiomara, it's her body. She isn't quite sure where she fits in the world. She isn't quite sure where she fits in her family. She's questioning this religion that her mother's completely devout to. So it's that struggle. It's mostly internal. And the author wrote this book inspired by kids that she was teaching in 2018. And these children that she was teaching were Latina children, and they didn't have people representative in literature they were reading, so she gave that to them. So Xiomara is a child of immigrant parents from the Dominican Republic. It's a lot of different ethnicities that aren't really exposed in mainstream media, and this book's getting a lot of attention, which I think is super important because it's bringing in different backgrounds, different cultures. Even some of the poetry verses are told in Spanish, which I don't read or know how to speak, but it's interpreted and translated for you. So I highly recommend this book. It's a great book.